Welcome to July of 2021. My name is Attack Slug, and today I wanted to discuss the WWE Roster Cuts and the potential impact on WWE 2K22, a game we assume is launching this year, even though currently we don't have a release date on that. Nor have we gotten much of that so-called transparency they promised for this marketing cycle, but that might have something to do with them firing folks every couple of weeks at WWE. Now, if you have been following the 2K games like I have, you would know the cutoff date for any content is pretty much WrestleMania weekend. And yes, there have been some exceptions over the years, notably The Fiend and Finn Balor having their SummerSlam stuff be in the game. 99.9% of that stuff, the cutoff is Mania weekend. And 2K themselves does a lot of work that weekend with all that talent being in the same place. Contracts, face scans, all that kind of stuff. It is a very important weekend for the dev cycle of those games. But this year, more than any I've ever followed, has been completely and totally insane. There have been damn near 40 releases since Mania happened this year. And while I wouldn't expect all those names to have been slated to be in that game, there are a lot of very big and important names that might not be in the game this year. And I say might because there was that one time with 2K15 and CM Punk where he was fired in June on his wedding day, and that fall he was in the game in that showcase with John Cena. But that was after a lawsuit and a legal settlement and a lot of money. But the reality is that talent has to sign their likeness rights to get their royalties from the game. And sometimes, even if WWE wants them in the game, even if they are a current NXT champion, they don't make it in because they didn't sign that contract. Now, all that being said, I've seen the chatter online that, oh, well, these 40 guys and girls got cut, so that means they'll definitely double down on Legends content, right?
Wrong!
That is not how video game development works. You don't start adding in more content this late in your dev cycle with a release happening this fall. There is a reason the cutoff is Mania weekend, because that work has to get done between Mania and your fall release. But even if, hypothetically, we do get more Legends content and more Legends superstars in the game, do you recall the faces and how they looked for like The Rock and Edge in 2K20? You want more of that? Really? And on top of all the work they already need to do between now and release, they're getting more work and having to remove things that they already did in the game. Imagine you spent all your time on Braun Strowman, the model, the animation, the lighting, the mocap, maybe even some choo-choo train noises. Guess what? All that work was for nothing. Tear it out. And it's not as simple as just hitting delete on those files. Once you remove that content, it's go back into that game and make sure that that removal didn't affect anything else and break anything else. And if there's one thing we know about the 2K series, is that things break constantly. So multiply that one thing you had to remove by like 15, 20, 25. So I can only imagine how demoralizing it must be to work at 2K the past couple of months to have done all this work and just pull it back out. But hopefully, fingers crossed, they put back in Joe. So maybe the silence from 2K on not giving us any marketing information, even though it's supposed to hit different, is because perhaps their plans for marketing involved guys like Braun, Aleister Black, Breezango. Imagine they filmed a whole roster reveal that was filmed in advance with guys like Breezango, as they've done in the past, and guess what? It's inaccurate now. Scrap the whole thing, start over. And the even larger question, since 2K has been so quiet, is there a My Career? Is that My Career like previous years? And if so, is anybody who got released supposed to be in that My Career? And what does that do to any potential stories, voice acting, mocap, all that work? I'm hoping that maybe somebody is so integral in that they sign a deal just to stay in that and it does not ruin or delay the whole thing. Because while on one hand, you cannot afford to miss another year of this brand, of this game, on the other hand, you have so much to prove from how incredibly broken that the last game was, it has to at least meet a mediocre standard of quality. I'm not saying it has to be amazing, but it can't be broken. So if these roster cuts continue every couple of weeks, because Nick Khan clearly does not give one single one thing is for sure, there is no way this year's game can be marketed as the largest roster ever, and they better hope that it hits different. All I want is a fun game to play, to give to you guys fun videos to watch, and I'm hoping these ongoing roster cuts do not affect that game in any potentially huge negative fashion, but we'll see pretty soon. I'm Attack Slug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. Tune in. I'll see you then, and I'm out.